At the end of the book of Revelation, in chapters 21 and 22, we find a spectacular vision of the New Jerusalem, the heavenly city. Also, she had a great and high wall with 12 gates, and 12 angels at the gates, and names written on them, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, and 3 gates on the west. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each individual gate was of 1 pearl. So why did this heavenly city have 12 gates?
In ancient times, the concept of security was vastly different from what we know today. It conjured images of strongholds and fortresses, places where safety was a priority when marauding armies threatened the peace. The primary goal? To survive. The strategy of the day was simple yet effective: find higher ground. This elevation offered a critical advantage, the ability to see your enemy coming from afar. But seeing was only part of it. Making the location as impenetrable as possible was key. People built huge, towering walls atop these already formidable hills. The idea was to create a fortress that was nearly impossible to climb, imposing a significant challenge for any would-be invader. Imagine a vast expanse of stone creating a barrier that whispered, "Keep out," to every enemy. Some even went further, surrounding these strongholds with water, forming natural moats that acted as additional deterrents. And the entrance? It was no ordinary gate, no servant's entrance, no back doors, just one way in and one way out, a main entrance that was heavily fortified and meticulously monitored. Why so strict? Because in those times, knowing who was coming and going could mean the difference between life and death. Every entrance had to be defensible at a moment's notice. In essence, everyone, commoner or noble, needed to understand the significance of a singular, secure entry point. It was a common thread in the fabric of ancient security, where every move was calculated and every choice vital.
So why did the heavenly city have 12 gates? Because it never needed to be defended. Here's an interesting detail. Its gates shall not be shut at all by day, and there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and the honour of the nations into it. But there shall by no means enter it anything that defiles or causes an abomination or a lie, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life. But note, even though the power of evil has been defeated by the time we reach the end of the book, it's clearly not been eradicated or destroyed. As we read further, "Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates of the city. But outside are dogs and sorcerers and sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters, and whoever loves and practices a lie." So there's something other than a wall and a gate keeping evil away. And taken literally, along with the 12 gates, this renders the wall completely redundant, except for the singular fact that it has a spiritual meaning. The number 12 symbolises all things of faith and love, or all the truths and goods of the church in their entirety. This is why there are 12 tribes of Israel and 12 apostles, each representing all spiritual qualities, or all who belong to the Lord's church. Specifically, Swedenborg teaches that the 12 gates symbolise all the concepts of truth and goodness by which a person is introduced into the church. Gates represent the introductory truths from the Word, because a person is brought into the church through them, just as one enters a city through its gates. The fact that there are 12 gates means that all aspects or all the necessary truths and goods needed to enter spiritual life and the church are represented and provided. The gates being associated with pearls further emphasises that these introductory truths are precious and necessary for entrance. The arrangement, 3 gates on each side, suggests that this introduction is accessible from every direction, or to every kind of person who seeks to live according to the Lord's teachings. In summary, the 12 gates of the New Jerusalem symbolise the completeness and universality of the ways in which people can enter the Lord's church by means of all the truths and goods provided in the Word. The number 12 is used to indicate all such truths and forms of goodness together, making spiritual entry possible for everyone who is willing. The 12 tribes of Israel symbolise a church that consists of people who possess goodness and truth from the Lord and acknowledge Him as God of heaven and earth. The number 144,000 means all such, for that number has the same symbolism as the number 12. And here's something I read only the other day about the numberless multitude of Revelation chapter 7. For these are such as were not in the truths of heaven and the church, but in the good of life according to the doctrines of their own religion. And these are, for the most part, not genuine truths, but falsities. And yet these falsities are accepted by the Lord as truths, because such were in the good of life. And on account of this, the falsities of their religion were not tainted with evil, but inclined to good. I wonder what you think of all of this. Do you celebrate the fact that all people, everywhere, of every religion and of none, can be accepted into heaven, if they wish? Or do you struggle with that idea? As always, I'd love to enjoy a conversation with you. Please do put something down in the comments. Keep it friendly, and I look forward to talking to you next time.